Here.
Counselor Neal.
Here.
And Counselor Hart.
Here.
Everybody's present. You gotta say.
All right, can I have a motion to dispense
So moved.
reading and approval of minutes?
Second.
Ooh, who do I give that to?
Give it to her.
Counselor Nelms was a motion and seconded by Counselor Gear.
Here.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0. We're gonna go to new business. I think Berkeley will mind. 030322, request for permission to work in the right of way to remove unwanted tree at 625 Hamball. Mr. Raj, is it Vakani? Is that how you-
Vakani.
Is it Vakani?
Yes, that's it.
All right. And Wyatt Pugh.
Raj, kind of explain what it is? I've prepared this.
Appreciate it. I'm Raj Shani, now live at 615 Hamball, and there's this tree right here. It was planted by the previous property owner onto the Homewood right-of-way without permission. It's actually an invasive species that probably should never have been planted there. It's a moderate to fast-grown tree.
What is it?
So it's a sawtooth oak.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a sawtooth oak, and once I moved in, my neighbor Tim here kind of let me know about what a nuisance it is to the entire cove, and how multiple neighbors, really don't like the sheer amount of trees that just pours onto the roadway, the berries that drops, the discolors neighbors' driveways as well.
I was gonna ask you about that. What are those things that drops all over the road and the driveway? They make like big brown blotches everywhere.
Yeah.
What is that?
Thank you.
Yeah, they're
They almost look like little acres.
right.
When it rains.
They make a mess.
Right.
Homewood, thanks you for your service.
Right.
See this driveway right there?
You should have, but if you didn't, let me know. Homewood, thanks you for your service.
Thank you. We thank you too.
Refer to Tim. Tim's lived there pretty much his entire
Whole
life, so
life.
he can better describe the nuisance that causes to the whole
Yeah,
cove.
he had a period of time he wasn't there, but he's been there most of his life.
Yeah, that's true. I've known John for
You
a
know
long,
Mr.
long time.
Mr. Hart.
This,
Here's yours right
this
there.
house right here, the Raj,
Sorry.
the Raj lives in.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Okay. This house right here that Raj lives in, was built, over the course of the last year, and it's much bigger than it once was. This was about a 1,600 square foot home. The folks that built it did a wonderful job. But 35 or so years ago, that tree right there, when Mark Moore planted it, when the original house was there, it was about 4 feet tall and about 2 feet wide. And I think he had all good intentions, like I'll just put a little tree here, over the next few years, it might grow up a little bit. Now that tree right there is about 30 feet tall and about 30 feet wide. Wow. Now if you go to the left, there's a street light, and all the power lines are right there with the street light. That grows right into the power lines, and it covers the street light. That tree in the fall and the winter will actually dump so many leaves in Raj's yard and these little brown things that we were just talking about, that it discolors his driveway, my driveway, and it drops a tremendous amount of leaves in about 5 of the 8 homes that are on that cul-de-sac. I don't know how it does it, but the street will be covered, his yard will be covered, and several of the yards right around it. Sadly, that's planted right in the center of the cul-de-sac. And I could step on the curb right there, go like this, and touch the tree. That's how close it is to the street. It was just one of those things, I think he didn't mean any harm, just wanted to put a little tree there. Now it's turned into a monstrosity. So I think all we're asking is that we can cut it down, maybe plant something that's not such a burden to the rest of the neighborhood. I have to get my driveway pressure washed 3 times a year because of that tree, and I'm sure Raj, before he got there, I was telling the folks, my gosh, nobody's ever gonna buy this thing, because it just looks like a sea of brown,
It got pressure washed before I moved in. That was about a month and a half ago, and it's already time to pressure wash it thanks to this tree. I mean,
Is he coming to us because it's in the right of way?
He's coming to us because it's in the right of way.
Raj, we'll slide that up a little bit.
Well, and because of the tree
You
order.
see the green dot here,
Yeah, but
that's
they
the
don't have to come to
location
us
of
for
the
a
tree,
tree,
that's
once
in
they
the
go
right of
get a
way.
permit, don't they?
And so he wants to remove
Cut it
it at
down.
his cost, but it's in the right of way, so it would require.
I mean, we're not gonna fuss if y'all wanna come up with some money for it.
That'll come in removed.
But, do I?
Let's get power lines.
Well, they'll only cut around the branches. They won't cut,
No, They'll clear to the ground, to the power company.
The arborist has already been by here, and he deemed it invasive species and can be cut by homeowners, but it was on the right of way, so.
It's a
Okay.
potential invasive disease.
Yeah, just the
I'll have to
bottom line
clarify
is,
that comment.
I think all we're
That's
asking,
okay.
quite honestly, is, it's just sort of grown into a monstrosity now. We just like to take
Absolutely.
it down, you know, maybe just put something up that's not so invasive. And it literally affects his yard, mine across the street, the neighbors next to me, the neighbors on the right side of me, the one next door to him, and the one across from me on the left. There's 2 homes down the road that doesn't affect, but that's a heck of a lot of turf for one tree to affect.
Well, if the city arborist has already been by and we've gone through the process of considering the tree ordinance, and then I think we should move to,
I copied, Abraham's comment on the bottom here. You can slide that up a little bit.
All right.
It's okay, that was his actual
Oh.
comment. He said it's on a watch list for potential
not
invasive
see.
species status. He would be willing to deem this an invasive.
And I can just tell you, because we live there, it's a pain in the butt.
Are you to the right or the left of the home there?
Directly across the street.
Across the street, okay.
So that thing hovers over my driveway. And the picture doesn't exactly show you all of it, but it grows as far this way as it does this way.
Sure.
So it's like a gigantic circle that sort of covers, like I say, about 5 of the 8 homes. And I was the only one that would come with Raj today, but everybody talks about it. So we would just request that. I mean, it's very simple to plant something that's not gonna grow into a monstrosity and get it off the street,
Sure.
you know. That's all.
Would y'all mind getting with Braun and planting something back that's native to Homewood?
Yeah, I think the key would be to sort of get it off
To
the
your
street,
yard.
you know, just get it back somewhere in the property.
I think the other part is, as far as us planting, it is the Homewood right of way. I don't know if we're allowed to plant onto that. So I'm not sure what that process would be.
I guess maybe what Berkeley's asking is if you'd be willing to proffer planting something and moving it back just out of the right of way, maybe on your yard, so that you don't have to worry about getting permission to replant.
Yeah, we want to plant trees. We actually have 3 on the other side. There's actually 3 already ready to plant, but
Okay.
we're working to do a fence variance, so we're waiting for that process to play out before we get those 3 planted down.
Gotcha.
To your point, I think there's plenty of trees you can plant, but
Sure.
that maybe not do that. You know,
Okay.
there's plenty of them that, you can keep them a little more under control.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's suggesting replanting the same
No, I mean,
species.
Yeah.
There's some native trees that are on the list for that could go back in if you're willing to do that.
Yeah, I would.
Be
The contractor who built, he left these 3 trees to be planted. I'd have to check their species and if they're on that list.
Yeah.
I'll do that before we put them down.
That's fine.
But if you drive by the house, they already have trees ready to put down. We like trees, just this one's just out of hand.
So I mean, I guess,
I'll make a motion to allow them to cut it down, pending, they're gonna have to sign
identification agreement.
identification, I guess the tree guys are, but
We'll get
they.
you a proper.
And then accept it.
Proffered.
What's that?
Applicant here sign the identification.
Okay.
We don't control the contract.
So we'll have an indemnification agreement, just saying, in the sense you can't sue us if things don't go well.
It's not even on the radar. Yeah, we'd actually like to thank you for letting us cut there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It gives you permission to be there and to cut the state right
And
away.
a proffer to put up at least a tree or 2 that.
Make sure they grind the stump.
Yeah.
Does that mean that exact area, or can I just, on my property, somewhere around there? Is it
I
okay?
think, yeah, I think all of us would be fine with,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking for everybody, but I think it's fine if it's on your property.
That's
where
that's
it's-
yeah.
We just ask when you take one down, if you
Thank you,
can
sir.
put one back.
Definitely.
That'd be great.
Like I said, if you drive by, you'll already see 3 trees in the pots ready to go, but I'll make sure the species is appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Counselor Harden made a motion
second.
for the indemnification agreement, working the right way pending the indemnification agreement and, accepting the proffer for property owner to plant at least one.
Another tree.
tree in its place. All right, motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Gear, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so next week, this will go to the full council. Pretty much everybody's here right now, aren't they? I think everybody is here. I don't know that you'd have to really come back next week since everybody was able to hear and ask questions
We'll just have to
tonight.
get an indemnification
But,
agreement. to
yeah, I
sign.
was gonna say, if you do show up, you can at least get that document signed that night, so that,
Would you like for us just to come by to somebody and pick it up? Because we live about 7 minutes from here, so. I mean,
it'll be ready, assuming it passes next Monday night, it'll be ready as soon as we finish the council meeting.
Sounds good.
So,
All right, thank you all for
yeah.
participating.
Thank you, guys.
That'll be 6 o'clock next Monday out here in council.
6 o'clock.
I think if y'all don't come Monday night, Mr. P might have it up.
Yeah,
on
I'll have
the
it Tuesday morning if you don't come.
Perfect, I'll grab it from you.
Thanks so much.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Bye, see you, Tim.
Thank you.
All right, the other new business item, 040322, permission to work in the right of way and bore under State Farm Parkway for a domestic and fire water line tap. From Cale Smith.
Yeah, so this is an engineered drawing. This is where the FedEx building is up on State Farm Parkway that has closed, and we've got two things coming into it. One is a restaurant space, and the other, I think, is some sort of small retail. But the water line is on the other, the main water main is on the other side of State Farm Parkway, so they propose to bore under State Farm.
Wait a minute, right now, there's a water line to the property, cause it was something else before that.
That's right, they can't reuse it. The building, I don't know if it was sprinklered or not, but they've got to redo all that.
So it's for it to be sprinklered?
They're gonna bring one line across, and then they're gonna split the line at the meter, put in a
Okay.
vault, FTC and all that, and for the fire.
And they're gonna pay for all this, we're just giving them permission.
And we're giving them
bore
permission to
under.
go under instead of
Okay.
tearing up the street.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're dividing that building into two things?
They are.
Okay, I'll make a motion to allow them to bore in the right of way with appropriate indemnification agreement.
All right, motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Nels, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Last item is 010220, from Old Business, request for updates on Green Springs revitalization from Berkeley Squires.
I haven't got anything there. We met with Dunn, so they're, like I said, we're hoping to kind of get things moving this week and next week, and then hopefully second week of April, start milling, paving, and striping.
And I don't think they've finished the median work up on the north end yet. Okay.
They're meeting with them tomorrow.
Okay, all right. All right, without objection, we'll go ahead and carry that over, and we stand adjourned.
Means you ready, Miss? Yeah. All right, Special Issues Committee for March the 21st. Counselor Smith. Here. Counselor Gear. Here. Counselor Allemon. Here. Counselor Sims.
Here.
And Counselor Andrus.
Here.
All present.
Okey-doke, we just have one item on the new business agenda, 080322, public hearing set for March 28, 2022 at 6 p.m. for consideration of a sign variance at 159 State Farm Parkway. Ginger Hickey Pro Signs, Taco Bell, and White Pew. Hello? Are they here? Oh, hey,
Gosh, you've been here for a long time.
I really have.
You've really been here for a long time. You were here before I got here. I think you, hold on, she's gonna let you sign in, but go ahead, you can go ahead and start telling us what you got.
Okay, so Taco Bell is moving from the Wildwood Center across to the old Arby's building. Yes. Okay. So, we sent in for a monument, so we're good on that part. So this is just, the ordinance states we can have one sign, and Taco Bell has a lot. It is the standard, Taco Bell package that we submit. Most of them have this. We would like to get as much of that as possible. The art panels that are framed on the building, we like the sauce packets. But we do have an alternative, some bubbles and lines. Some cities will not consider that signage if it doesn't have
If it doesn't have a product on it.
the sauce packets and the advertisement.
I think, hey, Wyatt, I think regardless of what the content is, because we don't judge by content, so it really doesn't matter, it's just, if it's on the side of the building, we consider it a sign, correct?
That's the way that's where I come down.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So, I mean, we can't judge by content, so it doesn't really matter to us what the sign has on it. It's just a sign, so, okay, go ahead.
That's pretty much it. Those are examples of the buildings that we have. I'm sure most of you have seen Taco Bell's.
Okay, so, let me try to wrap my head around this. Okay, so, I'm assuming the front, that very first picture is the front elevation?
Yes, the very front, that is the front that
Faces
faces
Wildwood,
the
or
street.
faces, Lake Shore.
Correct.
Okay,
And then the side, that's the right side elevation, that's where you enter.
Okay.
This is the back of the building, the drive-through, the menu board will be right there,
Okay.
right in front of this.
Okay.
And that's the.
Other side.
Yeah, the drive-through elevation.
Okay, all right, and is there parking, there's parking, if I'm thinking about the right, I'm thinking about the Arby's building, there's parking behind, or all the way around, on both sides and in the back, okay? Okay, so that 10 signs total?
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of signs.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a lot of signs, okay,
Is that what they're asking for, multi-sign variance?
yeah, yes, that would be the one.
There are several other restaurants in the area that have a few more than just one.
Yeah. I think that the majority of those probably predated.
They are,
the-
but you have Cookout, Snoo.
That's not in Homewood, that's in Birmingham, that's in the city of Birmingham. I know it's really weird over there, the city, the dividing lines are different, but that's actually in the city of Birmingham, as is the Starbucks. Those are both actually in the city of Birmingham. And they have a whole different set of sign rules than we do.
And just to confirm, are 5 or 6 of the signs the sauce packets in design?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What is, I
So
can't tell
there's
about
5 of
4.
those.
Yeah.
I can't tell what 4 is. And you said alternatively, the options are basically designs instead of,
The sauce pack.
and they are, could we pass that
Yeah,
around, please?
absolutely.
Thanks.
What'd you call them, art panels?
Yes.
Nick, you were talking about number 4, you couldn't tell
It's
what
up
it
there.
is. It's like that, the
So-
first and second picture.
Abstract.
Okay, so it is clearly a sign that says Taco Bell, okay.
And Wyatt,
Are you talking about the top or?
No, I'm talking about the Bell logo on the top.
Okay.
He was asking about one of them.
yeah, he couldn't tell what it was.
He wasn't talking
Okay.
about the sauce packet.
And I do have an additional question about that particular sign, which was, I think, number 4 on the design. Is that also gonna have the letters above the door?
That'd be a canopy sign.
Okay.
Which, a canopy sign, you can have a canopy sign, wall
And
signs,
additional
all that
to-
stuff. The
okay.
canopy sign's really not a problem, but that big Bell logo.
Above
all
it
that
is
a
also,
sign.
cause that's attached, okay, gotcha.
We did that with the, Smoothie King, remember? Smoothie King had the letters in front. and
Yeah.
the Kinda abstract.
Thing behind.
That was really a smoothie.
It's a crown.
Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right.
That's my place, but now I can't get to it on the left.
Well, this is actually set for a public hearing for next week, so the appropriate motion is to move it out without recommendation pending the public hearing. Yes.
I just, one more quick question for
Yeah.
Wyatt. Recently, Whataburger's new construction over there, same area. How many signs did they have? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't think they came for hearings.
Well, they came, but I can't remember, it wasn't for that though, it wasn't for sign, they came, cause remember they
We
were
had to
here.
do, I know they came to planning commission for the,
The
oh,
drive-through.
parcel, we divided a parcel.
Okay.
Okay.
But would that have come to council?
No, probably
This went
not.
to Cali.
I can pull that sign package if you want.
Well, I was just, And obviously we have time, so we can go out there and
Yeah,
look
for
as
next
well. It's
council.
just a little bit different than considering signage on 18th, obviously, you know,
Right,
contextually.
kind of apples to apples
Yes.
over there.
Okay.
Right.
So thanks, sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
no,
you.
that's fine, no, that's
Beautiful.
absolutely fine.
Just beautiful.
Okay, alright, so I need a motion to send it out without recommendation pending that public hearing, next week.
I'll make that motion.
Alright, motion
Second.
for Ms. Anderson, second for Mr. Sims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0. So, the actual full council will hear this next week in public hearing. If we already have, Brian already has all the art, so that's great. He will be here, obviously. My guess is so we can.
It's at 6 o'clock.
Yes, at 6
o'clock.
o'clock in the room next, in the chamber.
Can you go back and pass your minutes?
Oh my gosh, yes, I didn't do that, so sorry. Yes, can I get a motion to approve, the minutes as presented, with the adjustment made for the Christmas tree item that we did in council last week?
Well, I didn't change them, y'all saw, that was originally what they were.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, alright. Can I get
Yes,
that?
so moved.
Motion from Ms. Andrus.
Second.
Oh,
Second
that's what I was
from
talking
Ms.
about.
Gear, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright, that would be 5-0 to approve the minutes. So sorry, and without any other items, we are adjourned.